Hello, everyone. This is Backyard Musings, broadcasting live from the Double Wide in Apple Valley. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
And today we're going to be continuing our segment on signs of the times in Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars.
Yep.
Right? In the last 223 years, we've had many major conflicts. We've talked about 19th and 20th century. Now we're into the 21st century, which is 2000 up till now. And it's looking like it's just as bloody in the 21st century as it was in the 20th century.
Yeah.
So
and we are you can't watch the news and not hear about some kind of conflict somewhere. It's crazy.
But it's weird how there's a lot going on in Africa.
Right.
So we're gonna look at this. So the Second Congo War, 1998 to 2002, also known as Africa's World War or the Great War of Africa, began in the Democratic Republic of Congo in August 1998, little more than a year after the First Congo War. It involved some of the same issues. The war was formally brought to a close under the Junior Kabila in 2002. I think that's a meeting, right? And while estimates vary greatly, the death toll of the Second Congo War and the associated humanitarian disaster may have reached over 3 million, right? Which is barely into the 21st century.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. UN estimates that the internally displaced refugees number 6.9 million to get out of the way of the fighting, right? So, just a quote, if you remember the movie Congo back in the 1990s, about the animal trainer had a gorilla. Her name was Amy, and taught her sign language. Amy wanted to go home, so they got the permits. They went back to Congo, and then there's another guy who wanted to go in and get diamonds from Solomon's mine. So we piggybacked on there. Anyways, one of the quotes was about the Congo is, if you go in there, you're coming out somebody's bowel movement. So I guess referring to how brutal it is in there and cannibalism, whatever. So referring to the Civil War. So the next one is the war against Boko Haram. This conflict began in July 2009 and is ongoing 15 years later. You probably remember when they swooped in on this girls' school.
Yep.
They took all the girls hostage and.
Yep. That was a big deal.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
That was right at the beginning of kind of like the hashtag movement, because I remember
Me Too.
Michelle Obama saying hashtag bring back our girls. Like that was really going to make a difference. But we should have gone back in. We should have gone in there and got it done.
Yeah,
but
got it done.
Whatever. Hashtag send in the military and kick some butt, right?
Right. The Boko Haram insurgency began in July 2009 when the militant Islamist and jihadist rebel group Boko Haram started an armed rebellion against the government of Nigeria. The conflict is taking place within the context of long-standing issues of religious violence between Nigeria's Muslim and Christian communities. And the insurgents' ultimate aim is to establish an Islamic state in the region, so almost like a caliphate.
I believe some would say that they're kind of a connection with ISIS and those Muslim terrorist groups in that area in the Middle East.
So Boko Haram's initial uprising failed, and its leader Muhammad Yusuf was killed by the Nigerian government. He began the group in the year 2002 with a view of opposing Western education with his followers. The movement consequently fractured into autonomous groups and started an insurgency. Though rebel commander Abu Bakr Shekau managed to achieve a kind of primacy among the insurgents. You know, he's the warlord that rose to the top, right? The cream rises to the top. Though challenged by internal rivals such as Abu Asmatul al-Ansari Salafist conservative faction and the Ansaru faction, Shekau became the insurgency's de facto leader, mostly kept the different Boko Haram factions from fighting each other. Okay?
Let them fight.
Let them fight. Let them take each other out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I'm saying. Instead, focusing on overthrowing the Nigerian government. Supported by other jihadist organizations, including Al-Qaeda and Al-Shabaab, Shekau's tactics were marked by extreme brutality and explicit targeting of civilians. After Shekau's death, masses of Boko Haram militants surrendered, while others defected to ISWAP, ISWAP. According to the Nigerian Defense Forces of April 5th, 2022, a total of 51,000 rebels and families, consisting of 11,000 men, 15,000 women, 24,000 children, have surrendered. This number has risen to 100,000 in July 2023.
Wow.
So
Shocking stuff.
yeah, so that's Africa. It's still going on. We got another one to talk about. So the Darfur conflict. Those crows are making me upset.
Causing a conflict.
Yes. The Darfur conflict is an ongoing military conflict in the Darfur region of Sudan. The conflict began in 2003 when rebels launched an insurrection to protest what they contended was the Sudanese government's disregard for the western region and its non-Arab population. Okay, so it looks like more ethnic cleansing type thing, right? The conflict is along ethnic and tribal lines and has resulted in mass killings, forced displacement, and sexual violence, leading to an immense death toll and displacement of millions. Many people and the United States government consider it to be a genocide. So maybe
Sounds like it.
The books are gonna, 20 years from now, if we're still here, the Earth is still here, that they might consider it a genocide. Okay, kind of close to Africa, above the Mediterranean, I think, is the Middle East,
Yemen,
right? We're talking about the Middle East now. The Yemeni Civil War, 2000. So this is a hotbed region, right on the earth right now. The Yemeni Civil War, 2014, and it's ongoing. When Islam first came to Yemen, it mostly took the form of Zaydism, a Shia sect. Okay, if you didn't know, Islam is divided into Sunni and Shia different beliefs
Sects,
and stuff. Yeah. It was not until the arrival of
they don't like each other.
They don't like each other,
Yeah.
no. It mostly took the form of Zaydism, a Shia sect. It was not until the arrival of the Rusalids that Shafi'i Sunnism became popular. From there on, the two groups, Zaydis in the north and Rusalids in the south, started competing with each other. The state of rivalry was cut short by the fall of Rusalid rule and the succession of imperialist powers' involvements in the Middle East, notably the Ottoman Empire. Then the Ottoman Empire got disbanded after World War I, right? So Ansar Allah, sometimes anglicized as Ansarullah, known popularly as the Houthis, is a Zaidi group with its origins in the mountains of Sadah Governorate on Yemen's northern border with Saudi Arabia. They had a low-level insurgency against the Yemeni government in 2004, and their leader, Hussein Badreddin al-Houthi, was killed in a government military crackdown following his protests against government policies. So also, which I didn't go into big detail, is because I want to leave time for Russia. The Syrian civil war, with Bashar al-Assad, people wanted him out, and he's still clinging to power, and the Russians were supporting him. Remember drawing the red line?
Yep.
When Obama said that, but he didn't do anything.
Yeah, well, the red turned to pink.
Yeah. The Iraq War, that's after the first Gulf War, the second Gulf War, right? Which toppled Saddam Hussein, right? And then the Afghanistan War, right? After the Soviets moved out, like a couple decades later, Americans moved in. I've been to both Iraq and Afghanistan. So now we're going to talk about Asia. The Russian, the Russia-Ukraine conflict. So this started. So Russia is historically thought of Ukraine as Russia, Little Russia,
part of the old Soviet Union, right? USSR.
Yep. Well, and way before that too. I mean,
Correct.
Kiev was like almost like a second capital too, or maybe it was a capital at once.
Well, that was kind of a vacation spot, right? Crimea and down in that
It
area.
is to even today. Crimea, yeah.
Because they've got coastline. People go down there and fun and frolic, right?
Yeah.
So.
So Russia invaded, Crimea when Obama and Biden were in office, and then held off when Trump was there, and then when Biden came back in, they invaded, Ukraine, and so we, like dummies, we put a war on energy, and we had to buy Russian oil, Venezuelan oil, Iranian oil to get oil over here.
All of our good friends.
All of our great friends, and that. Pretty much that financed Russia's war, because it could set the prices, right? And so, but the Ukrainians, I served with the Ukrainians in Iraq, and they are tough. They are crazy tough. They're not like Russians who, once the commander's dead, they all fall in disarray. These guys fight, and they've got initiative too. And so they've really smacked Russia in the nose really hard with the attacks that by destroying their equipment, the aircraft, the ships out on the in the Black Sea, and the tanks. I mean, they've been really good at it. When they use drones, they're
Right.
using AI. It's
I get that, but do you think they've got a chance? That was a heavy sigh.
so
I don't think so.
as long as they can get
if-
funding,
Yeah,
they can
well,
get weapons,
yeah.
or you kill them all, or Russia kills them all. But Russia, it's not going to stop with Ukraine. We were talking earlier. Moldova might be the next one. Transnistria is a part of Moldova, but they're a breakaway. They've got like 100,000 Russian citizens. They want to break away and be part of Russia.
If I were part of the Baltics, I'd be a little concerned.
Yeah, Poland's right on the border, and they're NATO.
Yeah,
and
Latvia.
yeah,
The,
Lithuania.
Lithuania. Those. It would be. I would be very concerned if I lived in those areas.
Now we're crossing into rumors of wars.
Yeah,
so, and
no, I get
we're going
that.
to talk about that tomorrow.
Right.
But this is serious stuff. That's serious conflicts, and we know Armageddon is in the Middle East. It's in Jerusalem or in Israel. Armageddon, that was the name of an area, a region. So
that whole area is just unsettled. They're just.
yeah,
They're. It's like they were born for conflict. They just. I don't know. It's a sad deal.
yeah. So it's all percolating, and it might lead to Armageddon. Who knows? Will it take a month, a day, a week, a year, a decade?
Yeah, and when you were mentioning the Yemen, the Yemenis and the Houthis, those people are in direct conflict with Israel, right? I mean, they're helping
Yeah, they're
Hamas,
it's a proxy war, and we're going to talk
we'll
about that tomorrow. Totally a proxy war.
Yeah,
Iran against Israel. Totally.
right. Well, and I
Hezbollah.
think Iran is funding all that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, they sure are. So join us tomorrow morning. We're going to be talking about rumors of war. We pretty much covered wars. And we're going to talk about rumors of wars. That's the next phrase in that Matthew 24, verse 6.
right.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
And don't forget, subscribe.
Everybody have a good day. Thank you.